What's up, everyone? Welcome to Mike and Ant. I'm one of your co-hosts, Mob Miz. Your other co-host right there, my brother Inspector Ant. We're gonna
What's good?
absolutely. We're gonna be breaking down a few of the Week 1 games, showing you guys all the scores, letting you know our stand-ups and all that good stuff. But how's everything going over there in Cali, bro?
It's going good. Just hot as hell. Can't. I'm waiting for this heat wave to die down, be over.
I hear you on that, bro. While we're here, let me throw these scores on the screen for anybody for any reason missed these games. I'm hoping that you didn't miss no football games, but if you did, these are the scores for you. So we had the Bucks defeat the Falcons 23-20. The Bengals defeat the Browns 17-16. The Dolphins got obliterated by the Colts 33-8. Jaguars beat the Panthers 26-10. Raiders, I mean, I guess we can't call it an upset at this point. They flat out look better. Beat the Patriots 2013. Arizona won the game 2013 over the Saints. Steelers and Jets, one of the best games of the week. We'll get into that, but the Steelers won 34-32. Commanders walked all over the Giants 21-6. The Broncos did what they were supposed to do. It was sloppy, but they won 20-12 over the Titans. The Niners won 17-13 over the Seahawks. Packers pretty much stepped on the Lions 27-13. The Rams won a hard-fought battle 14-9 over the Texans. And the Bills beat the Ravens 41-40 in a crazy shootout. Now, with that being said, what would you like to get into first, bro?
Well, I like to talk about the game in Indy.
Let's
Indianapolis just destroying Miami last night, yesterday, and to me, it just looked like the Dolphins quit on Mike McDaniel. Obviously, Mike McDaniel was one of the teams one of the coaches on the hot seat, and I think it got hotter after yesterday's game.
absolutely. He was talking about it, making his team run laps and a few other things. I mean, I don't. Him and Tyreek, I guess put it like this. Who's out of there first? Tyreek Hill or Mike McDaniels?
I mean, at this point, I'll say Mike McDaniel.
Yeah,
I
I
think
don't.
I think Tyreek will be there at least until the trade deadline. Mike McDaniel at this point, I don't know if he'll make it until October if they keep playing like this.
That's what I was gonna say. So your vote is he doesn't make it to the end of the season.
Nah,
Yeah, I don't believe so either. I mean, it's gonna be rough over there. I don't know if Daniel Jones is gonna play this good all season or if it was an outlier because the Dolphins are just that bad. We do know that Jonathan Taylor is a special talent. We know Pittman's very, very good. I guess we could say special as well. They got some pieces over there, but no way in hell did I mean we both picked the Dolphins to win. We thought both teams would be bad, but Dolphins may not be as bad. I did predict them to be last in their division, and I thought they could fall off a cliff, but I didn't think it would be right off the gate. So, most surprising game of the week, bro?
yeah, I think that was the most surprising game of the week. Like the Miami Dolphins just not show up. It's one thing to get beat, but to get blown out is just ridiculous.
Yeah, and Daniel Jones, I believe, did some things in this game that hasn't been done since Peyton Manning. So that means Andrew Luck never did it. I believe it was he scored on, I believe maybe 6 to 8 straight drives, whatever it was. I don't have it off the top of my head, but I guess the question I'm getting at are the Colts as good as they looked in this game, or are the Dolphins just that bad?
I think the Dolphins are just that bad.
All right. So you're not expecting any more routes from the Colts this year going forward.
Nah, but I will say that they do play in a weak division, and I was not impressed by what I saw from Houston yesterday. Neither was I impressed with. I mean, Jacksonville looked okay, but I mean, I think Indianapolis could beat Jacksonville if they would play head to head. So I mean, that division is wide open, and it's not really like a team in that division where I say like it's gonna they're gonna be the dominant team. or they're gonna run away with it. I think any one of those three teams can win it.
Yeah, I
And
still.
the stat you're looking for is the Indianapolis Colts became the first team since 1978 to score on all of their possessions.
Yeah. See, at one point it was since Peyton Manning did it. Now he must have ended the game just passing that because Peyton wasn't
Yeah.
around in the '70s, boy. So he broke Peyton's record first game there. Pretty impressive. Next question: do you expect Daniel Jones to keep this up, or do you expect at some point to see the same Daniel Jones that a lot of people are accustomed to seeing?
I think at some point we're gonna see the same. Oh, shit, my bad. I think at some point we're gonna see the same Daniel Jones that we've been seeing. I think yesterday was more about the Dolphins than it was about him.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think that he
And
will.
if he proves me wrong, I'll be happy to say that he proved me wrong.
Yeah, I think he will overachieve this year from what my expectations would have been. But I don't expect him to be all worldly. But I mean, then again, I've seen other quarterbacks turn it around late in their career. So and I did see a pretty good year from him. The year they made it to the playoffs. So I guess we'll see how it goes, especially with the running back. We'll see how it works out. But is there anything else you wanted to touch on with that game, or was there other games you wanted to dive into?
Well, the other game I wanted to dive into was the Niners Seahawks game. The Niners came away with the win, but they paid the price. Juwan Jennings is listed day to day with his injury.
Yeah,
George Kittle is going to miss at least 3 to 5 weeks
yeah,
with his hamstring. Brock Purdy is questionable for Sunday's game with a toe injury.
yeah.
So, luckily for the Niners, they are playing the Saints this upcoming week.
Hmm.
So, even with their backup quarterback, they still might win that game.
I know
And
Saints didn't look that. I mean, they didn't look like a rout this week in Arizona. They lost, but without
yeah,
Purdy, that might give you a harder fight than you think.
yeah, but I think the Niners defense is better than the Cardinals defense. And I don't think Spencer Rattler is going to play as well against the Niners defense as he did against the Cardinals defense.
This could be true. This could be true.
Right now, I'm just trying to look up to see the Niners backup because I don't know who it is.
I don't even know who it is.
Because obviously Trey Lance is not there anymore.
Nope, and it's definitely not Donald.
Nah.
That's being sarcastic. He's been gone for a while, but he was their backup at one point.
Yeah, I think he was the backup when they went to the Super Bowl. Oh, the backup quarterback is Matt Jones.
Oh yeah, third. That is
Yeah, which will be interesting because if the rumors are true,
that's who. Yeah,
Kyle Shanahan's during that draft, Kyle Shanahan wanted to draft Mac Jones. John Lynch wanted Trey Lance, and John Lynch won out.
yeah.
But if Mac Jones gets to start on Sunday, we get to see what Kyle Shanahan would have done had they drafted Mac Jones to begin with.
This is true. This is true. So I guess it will be interesting. In the game, though, neither quarterback was really too impressive in this game. Purdy actually played very sloppy. I don't got the stats in front of me, but I believe he threw 2 interceptions. They obviously, I believe they was the better team. They fought through it. And I want to give a shout out to Tonjes, even though he only had 3 catches. That touchdown in the back of the end zone should have been another interception. Instead, he turned it into the game leading touchdown, which inevitably turned into the game winning touchdown. Because that was a terrible idea, especially when you have the field goal to tie it right there, and he just threw it up for grabs in the end zone with 2 Seahawks right there, and Woolen and
Yeah,
is
you
again.
got lucky.
Yeah, he got
That was
lucky.
like a
I think he forgot Kittle wasn't there, and
yeah,
and Tonjes said, "You know what? I'm just gonna do my best impersonation of George Kittle." And I like the fact that Kittle was going crazy on the sideline. You could see he was genuinely happy for the kid. So
well, statistically, Purdy wasn't that bad, but he did throw 2 interceptions, which was
Yeah,
The black. Yeah,
and he threw two or three more that should have been interceptions, and one of them ended up being the game-winning touchdown, which he's going to get a lot of credit for. But if you look at that pass, 9 out of 10 times, Willen probably takes that as an interception in the end zone, and you
yeah,
lost the game because you're supposed to at least be protecting the field goal. So I can't give you too much credit on a bad decision when that should have been intercepted and nailed down should have ended that game. You see what I'm saying? So that's kind of the part what I'm looking at. So I just can't say he played a good game. That way it was barely a clean game. But I guess from a just yardage and completion standpoint, all
yeah. His completion percentage is pretty good. Yardage is pretty good. It's just the two turnovers, and then, like you said, he had other plays that should have been turnovers but weren't.
yeah, and Woolen with two. I know he's looking at two plays in that game where he, for some reason, just misplayed the ball. The pass saw one down the sideline. He like just stopped it, like just completely missed. It's like I don't know if he maybe is under the weather or something. Maybe he was on like flat jet
Well,
lag.
maybe it was the toe. We don't know at what point of the game did he hurt it.
Yeah, well, bottom line is Woolen just stopped when and the ball was clearly going over your head, and Pearsall took it down the sideline, which I believe was the drive they ended up scoring on. So that right there should have been intercepted, and then the throw in the end zone where Tonjes caught the touchdown should have been intercepted. It, I'm just looking at it like your wide receiver made a play, the cornerback just don't know where he was just lost for some reason in space. But Purdy did what he needed to do to win, and I'm also not against giving your guys chances. I just think that you still wanted that play on the sideline, in the back of the end zone. That was a complete save.
Well, see,
Now,
that's why I always say that stats sometimes can be misleading because
yeah,
you need to have context. Like if you just look at the numbers, look at the stat sheet, you're like, okay, he played great yesterday.
he didn't play a good game. Didn't play a good game at all. And he did enough to win though. So once again, I told you, I think I always say this, but if you can learn from mistakes in a winning effort, that's preferably what you're trying to do. You win and then you fix your mistakes. You don't want to be fixing things while losing. So he got the win. Donald didn't look great, didn't look bad. Cup didn't do much. I think 2 catches for 15 yards. I did see him open a lot where he wasn't actually targeted. Smith and Jigba was pretty much feasting and getting targeted all over the board, but he's been there. So
Yeah,
go ahead.
Sam Darnold really didn't play all that well yesterday.
Yeah,
But the Jigba had most of the targets.
yeah,
Sam Darnold threw the ball 23 times. 13 of those times went to Jigba.
yeah. And that's why I said a lot of those times Cup actually was open, but it looks like they're calling the plays for Smith and Jigba. So it is what it is. But
Yeah,
I
Cup only had 3 targets yesterday.
yeah, what I would say is this. I've never been really sold on Purdy. Not saying he didn't deserve his money, but I don't expect him to go out there and be all worldly now when that's just never been the expectance of him. But Donald, another guy that at one point they were saying was like a can't miss prospect. What I seen yesterday was enough to know that the Minnesota stuff wasn't a fluke. Didn't have a great game, but I see he's confident. I seen there was some good throws that he put in position that just it wasn't caught, and then he did have a little bit of that old Sam Donald stuff going on a few times where he might have got saved by throwing a pick or two himself. So I'm not gonna say he didn't do that, but I did see enough from him to know that Seattle's gonna be decent this year.
Well, I will say for the Niners, they gotta think about getting a new kicker. Jake Moody, he struggled again yesterday. That if he would have made his field goals, that game probably isn't as close
Yeah,
as it ended up being. His missed field goals kept Seattle in the game, and Jake Moody struggled last year too.
yeah,
I know they spent a third round pick on him,
yeah.
but if he ain't getting the job done, I mean, just get rid of him. He's a kicker.
It
You
might be.
can find a better kicker who's gonna make his kicks.
I agree. It may be time, but I will say this: divisional game, defense, low scoring. Both of these teams will be tough outs for everybody this year, including the Rams. Obviously, injuries would change that, but the Niners in Seahawks, you could just see they that's just a divisional fight that we've seen going on. I believe that both of these teams would have looked better had they been playing teams outside of their division this week. I think that division rivalry, we just kind of all know each other in the NFC West, and I think that played a part in some of the sloppiness. It played a part in the low scoring, and I do believe next week both of these teams look a lot better. That's assuming the Niners get to put Purdy on the field. If Purdy ain't there, I take that back. But I believe if Purdy plays, the Niners and the Seahawks both look better next week.
You have no faith in Mac Jones now that he actually has a real offensive coach, not Matt Patricia.
No, because you're walking them into a bad situation. Kittle's not there. Jennings isn't there. There's no Debo. Bro, this is why he couldn't succeed in New England. Like, Purdy's been there longer. He gets it. Purdy knows how to work with what he's working with. Mac Jones is going to go in there. It's going to look like the Patriots all over again. Got no wide receivers. Yeah. Christian McCaffrey had 22. Pull up these stats because I just make sure I'm right. I believe he had 22 carries, and I think he had maybe close to 10 catches. So check how many passes went to him and how many carries went to him.
Yeah, so Christian McCaffrey had 22 carries for 69 yards,
Yeah.
and he had 9 catches for 73 yards.
And how many targets did he have in the passing game?
He had 10 targets, caught 9 of them.
All right, so you relied on him. This ain't even times that he had to block or something. 32 times he's done by week 4 with that rate. Now, if you take Purdy out and Mac Jones, you're probably going to get 10 more touches. Bro, if they're telling me they're trying to run it till his wheels fall off, I see it. You're doing a damn good job.
Well, see, I think this is why they signed Kendrick Bourne, because looking at the stats from yesterday, the only wide receiver that gave you any production was Pearsall.
Right. And if I'm not mistaken, did Mac Jones play with Kendrick Bourne?
Yeah, in New England.
All right. And did it look good?
Even though Bourne started his career in San Francisco.
I know. But did it look good in New England when Mac Jones was with him?
Well, no, that's what I was saying though, because like Mac Jones, his rookie year, he was good. He made the Pro Bowl, and then Bill Belichick, for whatever reason, when McDaniels took the Raiders job, he decided to make Matt Patricia the offensive coordinator. Matt Patricia, the defensive guy. Like that move, and I felt like that move right there killed Mac Jones's career.
Could
Like
have.
you got a defensive guy, coaching you on offense. So that's why I said, like, Kyle Shanahan, he's not going to put him in situations that Belichick and Matt Patricia put him in.
I hear you, but what I'm telling you is, look, tomato is a tomato is a tomato, right? They suck together in New England. They'll
Yeah.
suck together in San Francisco. There's no change in that. They're both mediocre players at this point. So Brock Purdy is, part of the reason that ship's moving. That's why I don't give him the haymakers everybody else does, because he's good enough to work Shanahan's system. You telling me the Niners are coming out there with Mac Jones and Kendrick Bourne as their quarterback and top weapon? I tell you, they ain't winning until they get that fixed.
Well, I still think Parasol will still be their top weapon, but
Yeah.
I think the Niners, even with the injuries, I think they're good enough to still beat the Saints. Now, if Purdy doesn't play, I'm taking the Saints covering that 5 points.
Yeah.
I think the Saints will cover. I'll put that. Like I don't think the Niners will blow them out, but I still think the Niners should be able to beat the Saints with the injuries.
Yeah, I believe so too. But it wouldn't, at that point, believe it or not, it wouldn't surprise me if they ended up losing. But it just is what it is. I wouldn't trust any of that going in there, because Mac Jones might give you 12 points, not even counting the extra points. He might throw you.
Nah, it would have to be like the Rams Texas game where the defense is gonna have to win it.
That could be true. That could be true. But I have like I said, I think both these teams would be good as long as they stay healthy. Niners are a couple pieces away from falling apart. I actually, right now, left that game with probably maybe a little bit more faith in the Seahawks than the Niners because I think Seahawks should have won that game. I think they kind of blew it on their own, and they had them for the most part outside of Kittle. They had Purdy and all them in there, so Seattle might be the bigger threat out the two. But I
Maybe.
yeah,
No, I will say though, even if they can't stay healthy, them having the easier schedule wouldn't even matter.
yeah, exactly. Actually would hurt you because if you got a bunch of injuries, now you're like, all right, let me get a high pick, but you got a easy schedule.
Yeah,
You might have a bad season and a bad pick. Like you need one or the other. And my
like instead of finishing bad enough to get the top pick, you might win like 8 9 games because your schedule still is so easy, and pick like 16th or 17th.
yeah, after a shit season, those are just bad situations. What if you want, we can. I mean, anything else you could obviously add on. But after this game, what was the one of the other games you wanted to bring up?
Oh no, just those two. Miami. To me, I just blows my mind how I honestly feel like they quit on Mike McDaniel.
Yeah.
They know obviously the players know he's on the hot seat, and it's like they didn't even try to kind of like save his job. And then for the Niners, I just want to talk about that because of all the injuries they had yesterday.
Well, there's only one game I want to talk about, and we could be brief on it. And then I'm just gonna ask you like two last questions at the end. I want to know who your rookie standout was, and I have one other question. But the one game that intrigued me a lot, and even though in a losing effort, the Bucks beat the Falcons 23-20. A few things stood out to me in that game, and it may or may not be spoiling someone who I'm gonna pick later before, well, a couple of minutes before we end the show. I want to talk about how NFL ready Michael Penix Jr. looks right now, and how that even though they only had 20 points, he got Pittman involved. Bijan is, I mean, he's on his way to being arguably the best in the NFL soon. And London got his targets. And then I also was very impressed with the way Abuka caught the game-winning touchdown.
But don't forget, even Kyle Pitts looked good.
Yeah, that's what I said. He got like I think 8 targets, but I know he had about 5 or 6 catches. So Penix Jr. got Pitts alive. I think it'd be a big mistake if the Falcons decide to trade Pitts, which I believe he was rumored to be on the trade block. But these two teams both look like that. That was a playoff game. Both of them are gonna fight all year. These are gonna be tough outs, even for teams that beat them. And I'm intrigued to see how this division goes because we're high on both those teams, and they both played the part. What did anything stand out for you in this game that you like to bring up?
Uh, well, I think the reason why I felt like a playoff game is because we both agree that it's going to come down to both of these teams for the division. It came down to these two teams last year. As a matter of fact, it came down to who won the last game of the season. And so this game could, even though it's week one, this game could play a role later on down the line when they're fighting for playoff seeding, and this game could bite Atlanta back in the ass. And that's dinner still to me. I agree with you. Was Michael Penix? I like the fact that he has so much control in the offense and how he was able to get all his weapons involved. And going back to that draft last year, a lot of people said that out of all the quarterbacks, Michael Penix was the most NFL ready.
Yeah,
The only reason why he went number 8 instead of in the top, 3 or 5, is because in college he tore his ACL twice.
yeah,
Because that was the thing is that both him and Jaden Daniels are actually pretty old for second year quarterbacks. They're like 26.
yeah,
They're only like a year younger than like Joe Burrow, and they're about the same age as Trevor Lawrence, even though Trevor Lawrence is now in year 5,
yeah.
and these guys are only in year 2 because they played so many years in college. But that was the knock on Michael Penix, was just like he tore his ACL twice in college, and they're questioning, can he hold up? Because if he can't hold up in college, how you gonna hold up in the pros? But
Yeah,
coming out, they said that he was the most NFL ready. So I'm not surprised that he's had the success that he's had in the short amount of games that he's played.
yeah. I'll pull up some of the tweets from last before that draft. Said it numerous times. He's by far the best quarterback in this draft, and it's gonna happen when he gets drafted. People was predicting him going the second. Every mock draft I did, and he was there in the second. I took him to the Rams. I was praying to the gods. They didn't answer me. The Falcons traded up and took him, and I was like, what a steal! And then I heard everybody say, "What? They took him? What? They got Kirk Cousins? Do you think they want Kirk Cousins now? Look at that kid! Like, bro, get out of here." I'm saying, like, they made
Well,
us.
yeah, even Sean Payton was mad because he was hoping Penix would fall to him at 12 because he wanted to draft him. It said Atlanta, and I think Atlanta knew that. That's the reason why another reason why they moved up. Because
Yeah,
Sean Payton said if he was still there at 12, he was going to take him. Instead, they ended up taking Bo Nix.
yeah, I agree. I agree. I think Bo Nix would be good too, but he's not. I mean, I don't see what I see in Michael Penix Jr. and
Oh yeah,
Bo.
imagine Michael Penix if he had Sean Payton.
It's crazy. He did. Sean Payton knew what he was looking at. It's the
Yeah,
IQ. It's the IQ. It's what's above the shoulders that Michael Penix to me was just like light years ahead of everybody. And that's what I was looking at. Like the way he was conducting his interviews, the way he was answering his injury questions when they had him on TV. You could just see it. He was ready. He has a little bit of like Jalen Hurts, his football stuff. I feel like there's certain things that he could do better as an NFL quarterback. Him as a person is what you want in a quarterback. He answers everything perfectly. He's calm, cool, collective at all times. And Michael Penix got that in him too. You know what I'm saying? But he's got, I think, physically a lot more gifted than Jalen Hurts. It's just he's not going to get the credit until he does a lot more in the league. Now, a few things I want to ask you before we get out of here, though, because I know it's late. Got to get some sleep, all that good stuff. First thing that I'm going to ask you is this: biggest surprise of the week. It could be anything, player, game, whatever you like.
the biggest surprise of the week to me was the Cleveland Browns. I thought they were going to get blown out, but they played Cincinnati tough, and they actually should have won that game. Their kicker, they're another one whose kicker missed a lot of field goals. Uh, the Niners, they were able to overcome it, but the Browns weren't.
Yeah. Well, my biggest surprise of the week was Daniel Jones, and I'll keep it short. It was Daniel Jones. Now, what was your game of the week?
That's easy. That's a Sunday night game between the Bills and the Ravens,
We talked about
and
this.
that's a game too that could easily. We talk about tiebreakers. That's a game that could decide who gets home field advantage in the AFC. Maybe
For sure.
let's see how the rest of the season plays out because
Yeah,
Baltimore is in a tough division, but
100%, and we're in full agreement there. That's anybody, and we're saying that our team played this week. We're Rams fans, and to, I mean, I got no shame saying that Ravens and Bills game was game of the week. So anybody that's saying it wasn't, maybe you like defense, maybe you're lying. I'll leave that up to you to decide. And the last thing I'm gonna ask you is this: rookie standout of the week. Who was it?
well, I'm going Tyler Warren of the Indianapolis Colts. You talk about Daniel Jones, but the rookie out of Penn State, he had a good game, 7 catches for 79 yards, and it
Yeah,
looks like the Colts might have something there.
I think so
And we
too.
talked about it too, going over the AFC. Like the Colts, they have talent. The question for them is just being quarterback. Obviously, they gave up on Anthony Richardson, and we still don't know if yesterday was just a fluke for Daniel Jones, or maybe Daniel Jones has turned the corner.
I completely agree. 1 second, bro. Can you pull up some stats for me real quick? Because my phone's
Yeah, I
out.
got you.
Pull up. I'm gonna give you my player of the week, but I want you to read off. off the stats first. But my player of the week is gonna be Abuka. I mean, that catch at the end and Showtime, game time division rival. Talk about making a big play and a big statement on your first NFL game. He's gonna be my rookie standout of the week. I did like if I was going player of the week, which I almost started with, still would have probably went with that one, but I also like the AJ Javi 50-yard run. He didn't get many opportunities, but that right there showed you that he could be special going forward.
Yeah, Ibuka had 4 catches for 67 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Yep. That's what I thought it was around 70 yards and 2 touchdowns, but that first one was a great touchdown, but that second one, it's about when you did it that impressed me the most. But he would be my rookie standout of the week.
Yeah, even though Isaac Tesla, he was the rookie that probably had the catch of the week.
Yes. I look like Odelish.
Yeah.
But somebody told me that and obviously this is a joke. Shout out to Stampede. I don't know if you know him on Twitter. If not, I'll send you his account to follow him. He's a great follow. But he said that he sneaky Tesla promo by Elon Musk. He said he knows that it's a Tesla promo. I tagged Elon Musk. I told him that we're on to him.
Hey, if he buy, we know it's for real if he buys the lines.
Yeah, you already know that actually would be pretty hilarious. But outside of that, I mean, I'm pretty much done. Is there anything else you want to touch on before you go, bro?
Nah, man, that's about it. We covered it.
Well, let them know where to follow us.
All right, man. You can follow us on YouTube. Follow us on Twitter/X. You can see our names at the bottom at Expected Ant and at Mob Squad 508. You can also listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and Spreaker. Still not even sure if I'm saying that right, but we're on there. Listen to us, follow us. You can comment too, and just keep supporting the show.
If there's any podcast platforms you need us to get on, gladly send us the DM. We'll make sure that we jump on that. And don't forget that we're Prince Nana Coffee affiliates. Use the QR code. Get your coffee sent right to you. We also, well, not we, but Prince Nana also got tea on there. Anything you purchase, 10% comes back to this podcast, which can help us bring more content to use. Now, everybody, make sure to have a great night, and we'll see you soon with some more content.
All right, peace.